Hey girls, are y'all ready to slay?
Yes.
Are you ready to slay?
This is Real Juicy Talks.
Hey yo, what's up? It's Shuki One.
Hi guys, I'm Rosni and welcome to another episode of the third series of Real Juicy Talks.
Here in Real Juicy Talks, we give you real juicy facts on interesting and unique individuals from our tiny little red dot. And for today, we have a young lady who was the first runner-up on a televised competition called Elite Syria, and currently she's working her way up as a host and as an actress. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Amyrah Mustafa! Girl, how are you? So does it feel weird that finally you are being interviewed instead of you interviewing people?
I mean, like, the tables have turned. It feels really nice to be the interviewee instead of the interviewer, because I feel like it's less pressurizing in a way, but pressurizing on another level, because everybody is listening to what you're talking about and to know more about you. So you have to kind of, prepare just to represent yourself well. Yeah, that's just my point of view.
Okay, so how has been your journey at Elite Syria?
I'm just gonna share with you my story when I entered the auditions of Elite Syria. I think back in, if I'm not wrong, March 2018. Yeah, March 2018. So I was entering that competition with an open mind. I wasn't really thinking that I would enter. I would be selected for the live shows. I was just trying my best. Especially when Elite Syria is about hosting, and I was never imagining myself to be a host on television. I never thought of that. So when I entered the auditions, I was really nervous, and I think it was just 2 minutes to my turn, and I was about to back out because I was so nervous. I was so scared, and I was finding the marshal and trying to tell them, you know what, I just cannot make it. I think I just want to back out, but I couldn't find them. So end up I just have to go, for my turn. So maybe that's a sign that I just have to proceed. Even my peers, the person sitting next to me, he was telling me you know what, you should just go for it, because even if you're selected or not selected, you would know the answer. If you just go home, you wouldn't know what's your potential. And I feel like that's a very it's an advice that I can remember till now, almost 3 years down the road. So while I was in the competition itself, the live show, it was really nerve-wracking because everyone seemed so much confident than me. They all have their own character, they have their own skills, and then most of them, they have background. They have hosting background, they have acting background, and as for me, I only have minor hosting experience. I don't have any acting experience at all. So I just felt like, oh my god, I'm so far off from them in terms of confidence level. But then I try to find my own strength. I know that my strength is in the language, so I focus on the content and language every time I present myself on Elite Syria. And I'm the kind of person who has major anxiety attacks, every time before the live shows. So 5 minutes before the live shows, my heart will just beat so heavily. So I just have to tell myself, you know what, it's okay. Whatever happens, it will happen. It's okay, no matter what the results are. But no matter what, you shouldn't let your supporters down. So those are the words that played in my mind every single live show. And sure enough, I managed to enter the finals, which is something that I was low-key hoping for. And I managed to enter the finals, which is something that I've dreamt of, and I was so happy. And I came up first runner-up, which is something that, for someone who has stage fright, and to go all the way to the finals winning second place, that's a huge thing for me. So always look at the bright side, always find opportunities, because you have to find the opportunity. Opportunity won't really go to you, to come knocking on your door, because you have to do the work and find all the endless possibilities out there.
Yeah, so if you guys, our viewers, if you guys have missed Elite Syria, you can go on to Me Watch and just type in Elite Syria, and then you can go and watch the show. Okay, so after Elite Syria, you went on to do this hosting infomercial called Misi Gaia. So can you tell us more about the experience during Misi Gaia?
It's an info ad program which runs for 8 episodes, 30 minutes each. It has been more than a year, and the replay just ended, I think, about a few weeks back. So to be honest, Misi Gaia was, I think the project started around January in 2019, and I ended Elite in August 20. Sorry, Misi Gaia was 2019. I ended Elite Syria in 2018 August. So from end of August all the way till January, there was literally no calls, no offers. So I was so sad. I was so doubting myself. I'm like, wait, like, am I good enough or not? There's so many things happening in my mind, or like running through my mind. So when I received a call asking to go for a casting for Misi Gaia, it wasn't called Misi Gaia at first. It was called Ini Dunia Kita Punya, which means this is my world. Yeah, so when I went for the casting, I was like, oh, okay, I literally don't know if I can get this show, especially when I found out that there are named artists who went for the casting as well. So I'm like, what chance do I have, But then again, always have positive mindset, because like I said just now, you'll never know like where fate will make you go to different destinations in the end. So while I was doing Misi Gaia, I was selected in the end. I was so, I don't know, no words can describe it. It's so surreal, because I didn't imagine that I was gonna be selected. Especially, it's a travel log. It's a dream come true. I've always wanted to have to work that requires me to travel. I've always dreamt of that, wish for that as well. And especially when it's a hosting program, which means I'm the one who anchored the whole show. So it's really pressurizing but exciting at the same time. So when I travel with my producer, my director, I'm the only talent there. So I don't have anybody to talk to in terms of hosting wise or something like another talent to go with me. So which means I'm on my own. So I have to learn from my producer. One good thing is that my producer, Andy Idris, producer of Misi Gaia, he is, if you guys don't know, he's actually the first runner-up of Anugerah Screen Season 2. Yeah. So it means we're some kind of from the same boat, we are both first runner-ups. So we shared a few similarities, and then he shared a few tips with me. So I feel like I'm really lucky to land on a first job with a producer that understands me. So it's a win-win situation. Like he gets to work with someone who is new. He gets to know a new person in the industry, and I get to learn from him. Yeah. So while I was doing Misi Gaia, I remember when I first landed in KL. That was my first shoot, my first day of shoot. When I landed in KL, a few hours later, it was my first scene. So I was like, oh my god, I didn't even sleep the day before because I was so nervous. I think I don't know, man, but I think most talents for their first day of shoot, they will feel this sense of anxiety, right, Shuki? I don't know. Maybe you don't feel that nervousness, but I do. So when I was in KL, I was like, I didn't have sleep, and I had to do I think quite a number of scenes. I think 5 scenes, and then being alone, I don't have anybody I don't have a sparring partner. I cannot save that person. That person cannot save me on set. So I was like, oh no, what am I supposed to do? But I cannot show that I'm nervous. Because especially when we are working with overseas crews, overseas production as well, I have to show that, hey, I'm from Singapore and I can represent Singapore's production well, that kind of thing. So there was a lot of pressure on me, but I'm so glad that all of them were really accommodating. They allow me to rehearse every single time, rehearse before the scene. And I'm glad that I didn't take that much time also, because if not, that would be really awkward for me to, rehearse every single time. And then, you get to make friends with the production team. And, I think that is really important, because when you make friends with your cameraman, your producers, your directors, your soundman, the grip, you will feel much more comfortable on set because you are working with friends instead of strangers, right? And then as the day goes along, you get the hang of it, how to host more spontaneously, less scripted. You can know how to present by not strictly memorizing word for word. Okay, so when we have a set of scripts, okay, backtracking. In Elite Syria, we were given like maybe at least one day to memorize our script. But for Misi Gaia, I was given like on the spot most of the time. There were some that were given beforehand, but there were a lot of changes like on the spot. So I have to, be really spontaneous and like, okay. Let me think, okay, what am I supposed to say? And then there were a lot of moments where they say, okay, you know what? Freestyle. Just say what you feel. Then I'm like, oh my God. There were a lot of things going on in my mind. So I guess that pressure pushes you beyond your limit. And firstly, your limit is here. So when the pressure pushes you beyond your limit changes and change. So you get to improve yourself. You get to be stronger and better than your past self. So Misi Gaia taught me a lot, not only in terms of the content, the environmental content. When I ended Misi Gaia, I'm a much better person in terms of saving the earth. I tend to, try to omit plastics in my daily life. Misi Gaia impacted me a lot. If I were to describe about it, I think that would take me like hours to explain. But overall, Misi Gaia is a really it's a project that is really close to my heart, and I would sincerely wish that there would be season 2.
So you've really been pushed out of your comfort zone, this show a lot. And speaking of comfort zone, you've done a lot of hosting recently. So what made you get into acting though? What really pushed you to acting?
In layman's terms, it's an offer. There was an offer for me to act. So I grabbed it because I low-key wanted to act for so long. I know to begin with I'm not an actress, but I do wish that I could try to land on an acting job miraculously. I was given one of a main role in Lesung season 2. It's a huge project. I was really humbled by the fact that they went through like a whole thought process of who is going to be the cast for the character that I'm playing. And I'm so glad that they thought of me. So when I was given the opportunity, definitely I would grab it. And it's a huge challenge. But I tell myself, if you love it, like, why not just give it a try? There's not much thing for you to like overthink. Just go do it.
And also, fun fact, you guys, both of us are on Lesung Syria season 2. So, you guys can check us out. I think it'll be released probably in October or I think November.
November 6th.
November 6th, right? So just follow Amyrah Mustafa and you can get all the full details about Lesung season 2.
And Shuki is going to be in Lesung season 2 as well. I think she will appear before me. I will appear in episode 3 onwards. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm actually really excited to work with her. Fun fact, previously, before Lesung, I was given the opportunity to work with Shuki. It's just that my schedule didn't match with her. And then we get to work again. I mean, there was another opportunity for me to work with her. So it seems like it's fixed.
And girl, let me tell you, Amyrah is one of the most fun people to work on set. I really hope that like the team of Lesung will actually release all the BTS footage. And that's where you really see like, her real personality just like popping, Yeah. So Amyrah, a little bird has told us that you are a student athlete in Silat. Is it true?
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, so tell us, how do you actually divide your time from like doing hosting, acting and then Silat?
I'm a full-time student in University at Buffalo, which is in SIM. Well, when this opportunity comes, I think I'm lucky that the opportunity came before I get to finalize my module. If if the producer or director calls me like in the middle of my semester, most likely I cannot accept that offer because your schedule just doesn't seem right. So when I was doing lesson, it came right on time because I was ending my first, part of that semester. So before my ad drop period. So when I know that, lesson will take up around how many days in a month, that kind of thing, and then I get to pick my module. I guess I have the liberty to choose which time slot that I want, what module, and then whether is it online or physical class. So it all goes down to planning. That's what I feel. And put most of your, if possible, put all of your modules in the morning so you can get your whole afternoon onwards free for filming. So my CCAs are in the evening. Currently it's online, which is about 8:45 to 9:45, which is just 1 hour. It goes down to being mentally prepared, and also just now I said planning. So if you are mentally prepared, your mind will give you a sense of energy for you to push through the whole day. Because if you're not mentally prepared, you will feel more tired. That's what I feel. And then we have to be realistic as well. Because if you were to accept, you have offers, and then after that, that you have CCAs, and then you have exams, you have to be realistic. If you have a lot of things going on in the week, then you know that CCAs are sort of your second priority. You should prioritize your school. So which one that you should tell them, I cannot make it. So it goes down to being realistic also, because your body needs rest as well. But anyway, being sporty, I wouldn't say sporty, doing regular exercises is really important because your body needs that pause, to detox all the negativity.
That's great advice. I think Amyrah is a person who's giving great advice to the listeners, really just advice, amazing advice. Yeah. Okay. So the next question is going to be a pretty controversial one. So just your honest opinion. So what is your point of view on the issue of wearing hijab, especially in the media scene?
In Syria specifically, you wouldn't see a lot of people who enters the media straight with hijab. So when I entered the media with hijab, I do feel that it's really different. I'm not the kind of person who judge people a lot. I whatever that you do, that's really up to you. I don't want to get involved also. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So being person who wears the hijab in the media industry, even though some people might think that can be a disadvantage because, example, for acting, you wouldn't get proper roles. I wouldn't say proper. You wouldn't get a lot of roles. It's difficult to find a specific role for you, but there is also an advantage as well because people remember you for that. Okay, Amyrah Mustafa, that hijab girl, so they can remember you better. So when we take it in a positive light, maybe we couldn't get a lot of roles in the acting industry, but people can remember you. And then I just feel like we have to stay true to ourselves. We cannot, change ourselves just to kind of fit in. If you think that's best for you, then that's really up to you. But I just feel like for those of you who want to try to be in the industry with hijab, just go for it. Don't overthink. It's okay if people were to judge you, but I guess in the future and maybe 3 years down the road or 4 years down the road, nobody's gonna laugh at you anymore.
That's some really, really good advice, girl. Yes. Hopefully, we pray that our industry can slowly change, where we look beyond, our skin color, our religion, our race, and because I feel like because the media industry itself is a very visual thing, but I feel like there's a lot that you can do when you look beyond that visual.
True that. Yeah, just to add on, whatever that is outside shouldn't matter the most. Your talent and your skills should be your main selling point. Yeah, that's what I feel. So hi guys, I'm Amyrah Mustafa. You guys can follow me at Amyrah Mustafa, AMYRAH Mustafa, and then watch me and Shuki this upcoming show called Lesung 2. I think it will premiere around November 6th as of now. Yeah, around that time. And also watch me in the upcoming show also around that debut time, which is called Tai Tai Pokai. Also in November. Yeah. What else should I say? Simply follow my Instagram just to know more about my updates. Thank you, Real Juicy Talks, for having me and for listening to me talk. Thank you, Shuki. Thank you, Rosini, for being warm with me.
Amyrah, for joining us. And that's it for today's podcast. And thank you to our audience for tuning in, where we give you real juicy talk. And don't forget to follow us on IG at RealJuicyTalks. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Okay, so till then, stay juicy. Thank you so much.
And cut! There we go!
Hey!
Hey, can.